Hi, I'm Beverly Harzog, host of Your Personal Economy. You can't control inflation or even the price of groceries, but you can control your own personal economy. And I'm going to show you just how to do that because the way you spend your money is the way you spend your life. And I want you to have the best life possible. Welcome to episode number 11, Raise Your Credit Score in 30 Days. Whether you want to raise your score just a little bit or maybe even a whole lot, you're in the right place. I'm going to give you some simple strategies so that you can attain your best credit score yet. So let's get started. First of all, we're going to find your credit score. And don't worry, this is really easy. And it's free too. It used to be so difficult to find a free credit score, but now you almost can't avoid it. They're just everywhere. You can get one from your credit card issuer, most likely from the bank where you have your checking and savings or with a credit union. Just look around and you will find a credit score. Sometimes they are FICO scores, sometimes they're Vantage scores. Now, these have the same range from 300 to 850. And I'm talking about the range of the credit scores. Now, lenders use FICO score most often, so that's what I'm going to focus on. But if your free score that you can get happens to be a Vantage score, that's fine too. That will give you an idea of where you lie on the credit score ranges. Now, an exceptional score when it comes to FICO is 800 to 850. A very good credit score is 740 to 799. And a good, notice there's a distinction between good and very good. A good credit score is 670 to 739. A fair score is 580 to 669. And a poor score is 579 and below. All right. I have a score in the 800 to 850 range. And I don't ever try to pin it down because that's quite impossible, but I do know that it's in that range, and I'm happy with that. Now, you don't need a score over 800. Okay. If you just want it for bragging rights, that's fine. But honestly, I have never brought up my credit score at a party. So, the advantage of having a score in the 800s gives me breathing room should anything go wrong. But what you really want to focus on is getting a very good credit score around 760. At that point, you will qualify for the lowest interest rates for a range of products, whether it's mortgages, credit cards, or personal loans. So, that should be your goal no matter where you are, no matter how bad your score is, you can get there with time and patience and the right strategies, which I'm going to share in a few minutes. So keep that in mind. And now I want you also to check your credit reports at annualcreditreport.com. That's annualcreditreport.com. Now you get free credit report there from all three major credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. And I just want you to look at your reports and make sure there are no errors. Occasionally there will be an error on a credit report and it can lower your credit score. So we want to be sure that there isn't anything lowering your credit score that you can take care of right now. Okay. So do that and make sure it's accurate. Look at your personal information too, just to make sure that it all looks good. All right, next, I'm going to cover 4 simple strategies that you can use to raise your credit score in 30 days. Strategy number 1, pay down any credit card debt that you have. Now, if you have debt, that can really bring down your score because it can increase your credit utilization ratio. Now, this is a very important term to remember because this is going to come up when I talk about some of the other strategies as well. The credit utilization ratio is the amount of credit you've used compared to the amount you have available. So, just for a simple example, let's say you have a credit limit of $1,000. If you have a balance of $300, that's a 30% utilization ratio. Now that's good. Okay. If you keep it below 30%, it's not going to impact your score in a negative way. But let's say your balance is 500. All right, $500 balance with only a $1,000 credit limit. That means your utilization ratio is 50%. That's way too high. That can decrease your credit score. So what you wanna do is keep that utilization ratio under 30%. If you're really trying to boost your score in a hurry, keep it under 10%. So with a $1,000 credit limit, keep that balance below $100, okay? Now, this is really important. As I just mentioned, it's 30% of your FICO score, but you're also paying compound interest on credit card debt. So it's very toxic debt. It's going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay. It's really hard to get rid of it the longer you let it go. So work on that and pay down that debt, and you will magically see your score go up. Okay. Strategy number two, open a new credit card. Again, we're going to fall back on our definition for the credit utilization ratio. In order to increase your score, you've got to have more available credit. You get a new credit card, then you've got a brand new credit limit associated with that can make your score go down. But I don't want you to get a new credit card if this isn't a good move for you. If you need a new card in your wallet, say you've got travel rewards cards, but you don't have a cashback card, you're not saving on everyday expenses, then that's a good reason to use this strategy. And it also will lower your credit score. Now, along these same lines, let's say you don't need a new credit card or you're not comfortable getting a new credit card. Well, you can always increase your credit limit. Now, if you've got a really bad credit score, your issuer may not agree to this, okay? You want to be sure that you're in fairly good shape before you call attention to yourself. But let's say you've got a good credit score and you just want to get it higher. This is a good strategy to use because when you get a higher credit limit on a current credit card, you're going to increase available credit, which can decrease your credit utilization ratio. Okay. And that increases your score. Okay. Number four, don't close credit cards. Now, this isn't always intuitive because people are always asking me, well, shouldn't I close a credit card to show I don't need credit? And that would make my score go up. It doesn't work that way. Remember, credit is not intuitive. Okay. It's not always logical. You just have to know how it works. You have to know how this game is played. So if you close a credit card, let's think about the credit utilization ratio. You're going to lose the available credit associated with that card. That will make your ratio go up. So, unless there's a compelling reason to close that credit card, for instance, it's a high annual fee and getting the card was a mistake, just have a good reason before you close a card. And another good strategy, if you do need to close a card, is to be sure you apply for a new credit card first to replace that lost available credit. Okay. So there you go. Here are four simple strategies that can help you really boost that score in 30 days. Thanks for joining me for episode number 11, Raise Your Credit Score in 30 Days. We covered a few simple strategies to help you increase your credit score in a hurry. Coming up next, episode number 12, What is your credit card personality? This is a fun episode where I talk about the four different types of credit card personalities, and I tell you which credit card is best for each personality type. So be sure and join me. And don't forget, you can subscribe to Your Personal Economy on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and on YouTube. All right, I'll see you at the next episode.